Tops to the peoples, man. It's Big Dan coming back at you, man, with another video from California. This video right here is talking about the black and brown community, and I'm going to just put a little information out there for the people because it's a lot that's not being said, and the reason it's not being said is because it's really not common knowledge to the regular public. Some people in the community know, and some people don't. You know, and I want to start off the video by saying thank y'all for coming to the video. If you've been watching my videos, I appreciate you for taking out the time. I'm just trying to put or trying is lying. I'm putting positivity in the atmosphere because it's too much negativity out there right now. I don't like what I see with this particular situation with the deportations and everything, even though it's out of our control. You know what I mean? The information and stuff that's going in there is pulling us apart in some aspects. And I think that knowledge, giving y'all some information on key points and aspects, educating the people, bring a little bit more clarity, to the situation. Take a little bit of the tension out of the air, you know. So shout out to the whole community, man. The black and brown community, they get sweated just like us. They get hated on. They got the same issues we have in the black community. They have them in their community too, and some of them is worser than our situations. And I'm gonna break those situations down the best way I can. Now, I need y'all to know and understand and overstand this. This what's going on right now. This is a plan. This is a plan that's 30 years. That's over 30 years in the making. Okay. Now this is something that the United States government and the Hispanic and the Mexico government did together for money, GDP for the countries, for the global GDP for those countries, United States and Mexico. You know, and this is not about us as black people, but we are a big part of this, okay? Because Mexico and the United States came to an agreement. All right? United States want to change the workforce. Through since civil rights, black folks as a group, we've been trying to grow in a positive direction, and in the workforce, we've been asking for our worth as workers in across the board in all sectors of work, you know, and overall, the government don't want to give American workers, don't matter what color they is, they pay. Okay, so this is where the deal came from. Now, what came from this deal is big businesses, international businesses like International Beef Packers, Tyson, and etc. The United States allowed those companies to go down to Mexico and solicit work to their population, letting them know, hey, if you come up to the United States, we got housing for you, we got everything for you. If you can come up, if you want to come up here and work, we got you. They had little now the housing that they had was like what they call those mobile homes. They had like rows of mobile homes and stuff for them and everything. And I seen this for myself as a truck driver, going across country. And I was seeing this on the internet back in about 2015, 2016, on the internet. But then I was going into the Tyson's plants. Now Tyson, they got Tyson, the big plant, and then they got a bunch of umbrella companies under them, to do different parts to the chicken, because every plant don't do the same thing. So when I go to these plants, I see a whole bunch of vans coming in states like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, where it's a whole bunch of black folks. I see a whole bunch of vans coming in at shift change, and I see a whole bunch of Hispanics come out, and a whole bunch of Hispanics get out of those vans and go in during shift change. And I was like, dang, that's odd. It tripped me out. You know what I mean? But I remember those videos. I'm like, oh, so that was locking the citizens in those areas out of work because they didn't want to pay them right. They didn't want to give them insurance, health insurance. They didn't want to pay them the proper wage. You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to go by none of that. And the United States is allowing that so they can make money. Okay, and sell more product. Now, when the company started doing this, the people would come up and they was working them hard, treating them bad, treating them like kind of like they treated us back in the day, wasn't showing them no respect. And the people that spoke up and tried to make the situation better, they threatened them with deportation, and stuff like that. You Another thing that sparked off from the illegal immigration uh, contract or agreement that was between the United States and Mexico was I'm sorry, I heard the radio. um, Lost my train of thought. Let me get it back. Let me get it back. Damn, lost it. IBB, International Beef Packers, and Tyson soliciting to work. Okay, getting back to that. Solicit they was mistreating the people, and that pushed us out of work. You know what I mean? And they didn't want to pay the people what they was worth, man. And that's why they was moving illegals up there. Now I got it back. So the second thing that happened, you got groups like La Raza and Mecha that was created, and within those groups, okay, you go to La Raza and look at their website, and you will see what the mission statement say. And the mission statement says everything for the race and nothing for those outside of it. Okay? So once they got enough people in certain parts of the country, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, this started happening. Yeah, so you got a bunch of Hispanics mixing with the regular Hispanics that was born and raised here with this with Hispanics. They was mixing up. So us as black people, we see Hispanics as Hispanics. We sometimes you can identify somebody from Mexico by sight, but most of the time you can't. Because we don't look at them like that. Uh, that gave them the ability to befriend us. Okay, now we became friends. We was always cool with the Hispanics. Because we was raised with them here in the United States, especially here in California. So we build relationships. Some are, you build relationships with people on the job, and they'll set them up and get them fired. This was La Raza and Mecha. This was a part of that initiative. Remove the black folks out the jobs. White folks too. So they'll befriend you and set you up to get fired. Either tell on you, if you coming to work getting high on the low, you getting told on. You getting drunk on the low, and then sometimes they'll participate with you, or let you they'll let you ride a few times, see your pattern or whatever. But somewhere along down the line, you're gonna lose your job, and they'll bring one of their people in. Okay, so this is what was happening to us during the mass migration before Trump. You know, Now the other side know about this because they in on the plan too. Because what's the big goal? Removing us, getting us out the way. Now while they doing that, they pumping drugs in our neighborhoods. The gang banging getting crazy and going crazy, still crazy. You got the rap getting crazier. All of this is combined. We not focused at all on what's going on around us. So it's a division. The Hispanics get treated just, they have the same problems like we have in our community, they have in their community. For instance, when I was young, I learned that Hispanics from Mexico don't respect the Hispanics that's born and raised here. Because there's a bunch of Hispanics here in this country already that got lineage like me that go all the way back past the Civil War, or they families was here. And they Americans. They just happen to be Hispanic Americans, but they here. You know what I mean? So when Hispanics come up from Mexico and start interacting with us, the Hispanics that came up here that knew Spanish and see a Hispanic that didn't speak Spanish or didn't speak Spanish that well, they wouldn't even consider them Spanish. They'll call them white people, gringos. You know what I'm saying? That's what the Hispanic community had to deal with, still deal with. It's not as bad as it was 15, 20 years ago, but that's an issue in a country. I mean, in our country, between them two, inside their own race. You know what I mean? And for us as black people, the similar situation is the same thing with the immigrants. The Africans that come over here, no matter where they come from in Africa, Caribbean, Haiti, Jamaica, we get treated the same way. They look down on us. They talk bad about us. But they blend in and mix with us. They use our identity to move up the ranks. They use all the benefits that we can get because they look like us, so they don't really trip on where they coming from. They black. But they can use our identity to do whatever they want. But as soon as somebody, treat them like a black person or approach them like they one of us, they quickly let them know, hey, I'm not black. I'm Nigerian. I'm from the Caribbean. I'm not black. I'm Haitian. You know what I mean? This is the same thing this is what we go through. And they go through the same thing. You know what I mean? Another situation in the pen. When Hispanics get locked up and go to the pen or to the county jail, they don't have no choice. They got to get in a car. North, South, and in the Southerners, the people that's from Mexico, they got their own car too. You got the Northern car, the Southern car, which is the Southerners, the MS-13 or the 13ers, and the 14ers up north, and then the Pisces, they got a car. Their car is called the Pisces. So they got division inside the prison with the politics. But they all come together when they have to. Okay? Now with the blacks, it's different. When a black man get locked up, he got options. He can be like, he want to be Muslim, so he can be protected. He don't have to interfere or engage in a gang activity or the prison politics on a certain level. But at the same time, everybody come together when they need to because of the politics. And that's how it is in the pen. They have the same issues we have, man. That same division. It's just on a different scale. But it got the same kind of light on it. And this tension is being caused by people on a higher level than us. They want us to focus on each other, the poor people, and fight amongst each other while the rich people get more money. And they getting more comfortable and more resources to be safe and do what they got to do for them and their families. And they doing it, This changed this changed the whole demographics in the state of California. The deal that the United States made with Mexico. Now, when I was a drug and alcohol counselor back between 2010 and 2012, 14, one of my coworkers, a Hispanic brother, my friend, he gave me some game and let me know, hey, Mexico got a plan to take Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, and California back through illegal immigration. That's a part of that plan that they got with the United States. This changed the whole demographics of the work situation, the housing situation, the political situation, everything in the state of California directly. So fast forward to now, 2025, you can go anywhere in the Central Valley of California, and it's going to be hard pressed to see somebody like me behind the counter, especially in one of their stores, anybody's store or restaurant. Because, like I said, now you got to be bilingual to get most decent jobs here in California. Most blacks ain't bilingual. I'm not. I can understand a little bit, a very little bit, poquito. You know, but this changed the demographics of the work environment here in the United States. This affects white people. This affects black people. You know what I mean? So this is why you see so much or so many people happy to see the mass migration go. You know, but on the surface, because a lot of people only see what's going on the surface. During the last 4 years of the last administration, they left the border open where all kind of people can come in, you know, without being vetted, and it was people paying to come into the country without being fingerprinted and identified, because they was giving it up, like I said in the other video. When you got to the border, they processed you. You know, processing is fingerprint and ID. They processed you, give you a court date, and let you go on about your business, actually where you want to go, and they'll take you for free. It was immigrants coming up from all over the world, and percentage of these dudes was paying 10 to 15,000 to get into the country without going through that process. That's scary. The United States have a lot of enemies, man. It's a lot of people around the world that want to hurt us. It's a lot of people around the world that want to take the United States out, because the United States is an evil country. We did a lot of evil stuff to different countries, man. I got a lot of people in the military, a lot of homeboys in the military that been active or honorably discharged out, you know, and we talk. And they tell me some of the stuff, you know what I'm saying, that they went through over there and what they seen, and it ain't cool, man. You got dudes in your battalion raping women when y'all breaching clear houses and stuff, 3 a.m, you kicking the door in and waking the family up, and they all on their knees, and you got one dude in your unit that's crazy. Now everybody gotta have everybody back, and this one dude crazy, you know, and he want to rape a woman or do something crazy. They gon', you know, he do it, and they gotta. It's kind of like the police at that time. You gotta, you know, stand by your brother, even if you don't agree with it. That's that, and stuff like that, and a bunch of uglier stuff was going on. So the United States have enemies. So you best believe it's dudes in this country, sleeper cells, lone wolves, ready to be woke up and get that green light to get their operation ready, and so they can do some dirt to us. That's what a lot of this is really all about. Okay? Now, we got to show them love. You got to step back and open your eyes, man. Don't be reactional. Step back and see what's going on first, because it's bigger than you know. That's why I pointed out La Raza and Mecha in that mission statement. Everything for the race and nothing for those outside of it. Don't y'all know that it's Hispanics in this country that don't know that? That's not with it? They not. They don't even know about it. I talked to a few of them and told them about it. They didn't even know. They went to the website and read it themselves, like I want you to do. Go to La Raza and Mecha. There's 2 different groups. Go to La Raza first and read their mission statement and see what it say. And then I want you to understand and overstand that that's a certain percentage of the Hispanic population. That's not all of them. Yeah, it's a certain percentage of them that don't like us, but that's in every group. We got people in our own group that don't like us, and it's the same for every group, man. It's really about the content of your character when it comes to what's going on here. And those are the people that I'm talking to, the people that want to see some positivity come up out of here, man. Get all this negativity out the air. For real. You know? Because a whole bunch of Mexicans looked out for me throughout life. You know what I'm saying? I remember when I got out of Job Corps. I started working for the Seas. It's 97. I got out of Job Corps. So I had my carpentry my carpentry certification and everything. So I was getting paid the most on the crew. They assigned me to build a retaining wall up at the lake up there at Fryan. Okay? Now we doing this, and I'm with my coworkers. I got a few Hispanics that's born and raised in America. We cool. And then we got some Hispanics that's not from the United States, but you know, they know a little bit of English, but they mostly speak Spanish on the job, right? So we work. So when we get out there, we got to get out the van and walk to where we got to go with our tools and everything, right? So these dudes was calling me names. They was talking about me in Spanish, but I didn't even know it. And then the two dudes I was cool with, they got into it with them dudes. And I broke it up. I'm like, what's going on? Hold on, man. We here to, we here to work. We here getting money. What's going on? And the Mexican dudes was like, hold on, man. They talking about you. We telling them that ain't cool. You ain't even that kind of dude or whatever. And I'm like, huh? He's like, yeah, they sitting up here talking about you. They calling you Chango and Gato. I'm like, what's that? What's a Chango? He like, that's a monkey. I'm like, what? They calling me a monkey? I was ready to get out right there. I almost got out off of that, but I didn't want to lose my job. This is 97. I'm getting paid $15.75 an hour. That meant something back then, especially to me. I'm young. I'm barely 20 years old. You know what I'm saying? So that's one time the Hispanics dudes looked out for me, man, against their own people. When I was living in Tulare, I became friends with a Hispanic dude named Mike. This is when I was married. While I was married, and after my separation and divorce, every job I had out there in Tulare, I got through Mike, and they was good jobs. But without Mike, I wouldn't have been able to get them jobs. You know what I'm saying? And he was a little younger than me, but his family showed me love. Invite me over to eat. I make them peach cobblers, bring them barbecue. You know what I'm saying? We had that kind of relationship. Still cool to this day. My homeboy Frankie, we got the same exact birthday. Job Corps, roommates, honor hall. Hispanic dude. Back to back. Whenever we had to. Stood together. We was together. We was like brothers. You saw Frankie, you saw me. This is how it really is, man. They pointing out the hate. Man. Y'all need to know that the government is quarterbacking this from the top. They started this 30 years ago by asking the Mexicans to come up here and work. Now they want to kick them out because it was all a plan. When I told y'all that the white people been under their birth rate for 25 years and counting, I wasn't lying. Go look it up. Go find out. Globally, the white race has been under their birth rate. They need these immigrants here. If you took all the immigrants away, illegal and legal immigrants, it's going to be an ugly scene. You're going to see what's really going on. You're going to see how many white folks really left. You're going to see how many really left if they took all the immigrants away. This is a nation of immigrants. We just need them to come here legally. And the only reason is because when you come here legally, it's a process. You learn the language. You learn the culture of the people that's here. You learn about us. So when you get integrated into the country, you know how to act around us. Not just black people, everybody. See, what we have now, we got immigrants coming over here with their customs and having their customs here and practicing their customs from their country here in the United States. This is why you got so much not underage sex. You got grown men messing with little kids around here. Teenage girls and stuff like that. It's not legal here. It's not cool here. It's something we won't look past. We do not agree with it. It's not cool. But in other places of the world, it's all right. But that's over there where they at, wherever it's going down at. But that's an example of culture. Another example, the Indian people, they treat their women different than other people, other groups. So in turn, they little kids their sons go to elementary school, in junior high, in high school, and treat our daughters like they ain't nothing. They treat their daughters like they fathers treat their mothers. Talk to them and everything the same way. That's unacceptable. United States women are not second-class citizens. And this is how or what's going on right now. And we have to stop that. This is why it's important to come into anybody's country properly so you can get to know what go on in that country, because you can do something that you think is okay and it's not. So like a black person can go out there, he go to Brazil. Go to Brazil. You know, he think he at home. He light a blunt up on the beach and get rolled up like the blunt he's smoking. Because it ain't legal there. This is why you gotta learn. Don't be reactional, man. I used to be reactional. I still am on certain stuff. I work on myself constantly. But this from my Hispanic community, man. Show them some love. Y'all gotta go back. See, what they scared of? What they scared of is what happened in Electric Boogaloo. Breaking, Electric Boogaloo Part 2. That's Breaking 2. Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. That movie right there, it was made in the early 80s or in the mid 80s. I was a kid. It's one of my favorite movies. Because, you know, we was popping and locking and breaking and all that back then. You know? In that movie, it showed race unification. If you want to, I would advise you, I would inquire you to watch that movie. So you can see at the end, they take a snapshot of all the people in the movie. And they happy, they dancing, they just won their battle. Together as a team. And it's blacks, Asians, Mexicans, and white people. All together in one group. That's what the United States scared of. That movie was based on a rich white man taking over. He wanted to shut down a recreational park and build something else there. And everybody in that neighborhood came together and fought back. And they won. But they did it together as a group. This is what the United States is scared of. Go watch the movie and see for yourself. And you will never see another movie like Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. Not like that. You ain't gonna see no movie with that kind of togetherness. I don't know of one. Where it's a real scenario, or real world scenario that's really happening. Breaking Electric Boogaloo Part 2. That's what it is. Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo. They scared of that. And we have that power as a group, as a community. All we got to do is come together, man. Don't let them government detractors get in your head and make you believe that black people hate Mexicans and Mexicans hate black people and stuff like that. It ain't like that, man. Same thing with the Asian community. We love the Asians. And I grew up off Bruce Lee, Jet Li, Jackie Chan. Donnie Yen. Come on, man. Watching Kung Fu Theater every Saturday morning as a little kid after the cartoons went off. Bruce Lee, first student, was a black man in San Francisco. And they hated the fact that Bruce Lee was teaching black people martial arts in his country. They came after him for that. We love the Asians. I do. I ain't never had a problem with an Asian. Never. When I had Asian neighbors on Maple, they used to invite me over for pho and everything. That was my first introduction to pho. Homemade pho. Man, bomb. I watched them make it. I'm like, what they doing? I saw them putting whole chickens, and they had like 3 or 4 pots going at them. Which pots? Them big ones. All outside. I'm like, ooh. And it looked good, and it smelled good. My homeboy was having a baby shower, having his first child. Man, I had such a good time. Man, I had a good time with my Asian folks. Love y'all, man. I hate that it's, separation within that community with the gang stuff, and they culture, because it's Laotian, it's Hmong, Cambodian, Vietnamese, all right here where I'm at, and some of them be funking within each other because of culture and their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? We got to get that out, man. We got to stop that shit, for real. We got to come together. We can't let the negativity and all the hatred pull us apart even more. We got to come together, man. Stop tripping off of stuff that's out of our control. We cannot control what that man Trump do. We can't. All we can do is sit back and watch and help the people that need to be helped, that can be helped, that want to be helped. Those are the ones you help. If you can't help them, man, don't get in the way, because you can get locked up. I got a criminal justice degree. I'm gonna tell you right now, you don't want to be caught harboring a fugitive. That's what they call illegal immigrants under the law, under the what they call the dang executive order. He's all the executive orders that he just signed. So if you trying to help illegals, you know what I'm saying, be careful, because I know they ain't all bad. I do. But be careful. Like I said,